the pit stops. I think the pit stops at Sonoma are different. The way that the rear tire changer waits on the gas, because it's more about gas for the first little bit than it is about speed, and we haven't seen that all year. So I saw that with the 48. I think it was stage 2, the end of stage 2, and the rear tire changer stops and waits for the gas man to unplug versus the gas man timing it when the rear tire change was coming around and then re-engage.
Yeah, like Buescher's last stop was like 12.8, almost 13 seconds, because I mean the tank was empty. The key to the whole thing was staying on the racetrack and track position, because of the repave and the way that the tires fell off, and it just takes a long time to pass people when you're at Sonoma. So they were all on running as far as you could. Yep. And the way that all those cautions fell, most all of them ran to the end of the second stage. Yeah. So ran a couple stages on a tank of gas. That's how many cautions we had.
Speaking of empty tank, Martin Truex Jr. You just kind of led me there, so I'm going to go there.
What a segue.
What an accident. But go ahead. That was great. Yeah.
I'm just trying to weave this story together. So Martin Truex Jr., you referenced it, early issues for him. We thought he was probably out of the conversation for a win. Then next thing you know, here he is up in the top 5. Runs out of gas though.
Oh my gosh.
Very crawl into the finish, but he made it.
We were in the booth and they were down on pit road doing all the reports after the race. And so we're standing there waiting to do our closing segment. And all of a sudden I hear the crowd start cheering. I'm like, oh man, I thought the race was over. And I look up and Truex is coming out of the kink. He's out of gas and he's got the starter on and that thing is just barely moving. Like, I mean, it was turtle slow. And finally they bring the tow truck out there and the AMR safety chase truck. And he is, they're just sitting behind him because they can't touch the car. You have to finish the race on your own for it to be official on the last lap. So the crowd and the track PA announcer and they're calling this like it's this huge event.
Yeah,
of Martin getting to the start finish line for 27th. But it stinks for Martin. I think it's it's one of those scenarios where he had a good car in contention to win. They've had a few of those situations to where they've run out of gas or had something go wrong with the strategy or the car or something as they get to the end of the race. But it always seems like it unwinds for them, comes unwound for them at the end of these races and don't get to victory lane. So add on top of that, all the is he coming back? Retirement is he not coming back? And I just think at this point, right, like it's instead of year after year, at some point Joe Gibbs Racing has to say, okay, we got to move on. We got to do something different. There's the chaos of the constant questions, and it's hard to build a team. We're not winning races. We're running good, but we're not winning the amount of races for all the hassle and everything that goes with everything that comes with the scenario that they're in.
When you made the decision to retire, was it pretty like black and white for you? Like you just knew?
Well, I think for me, I didn't want it to be this way, right? Yeah. I didn't want it to be just constant. And what are we going on, year 3?
Yeah.
This has got to be the 3rd year. But I didn't want the constant chaos because the scenario that I see with Martin Truex is not fair to his team. It's not fair to his team guys. It's not fair to his team to just continuously go through these scenarios of whether you're staying or whether you're going, because you can't build anything. You can't build to get better. You can't build to do things that it takes to win a championship. And I think those cars are good enough to win a championship. But this is this is a sport of just being committed at the highest level every day. And it's not that Martin isn't committed to doing the things that he's doing, but the uncertainty just doesn't allow you to go through the processes of building on a daily basis because you don't know what's next year. And eventually it's bad for the team. And I think we're at a point where it's bad for the team. You're hearing a lot of rumors about Chase Briscoe going in that 19 car with everything happening at Stewart-Haas Racing. And maybe they're at a point where, they feel like it's time for them to move on and just start rebuilding the 19 team to be what the 20 team is, to be with the 11, the 54. They have secure situations that are going to be there for years to come.
Based on what we're hearing, probably an announcement will be coming soon as far as Martin Truex Jr. goes. But he's had a great career in the Cup Series. If he does, in fact, decide to retire, 34 wins, former champion. He has definitely made his mark in NASCAR.
2-time Xfinity champion. I mean, that's a Hall of Fame resume.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I agree. I wish I'm a Martin Truex guy because he's like
Yeah.
he's a New England. He's
I
like
love Martin
he's
Truex.
he's one of our area guys. So like New Jersey, but we still claim
7
him as
home
New England.
tracks,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. But like I just wish that if this was it, I would rather you be able to enjoy it
And
my man.
celebrate.
I would rather you be able to enjoy the last half of the year. Like if you think you're pushing more towards no than yes, then say no now.
Do you think he's enjoying it? Does it look to you like he's enjoying it?
I don't
Not
know.
really.
I don't.
Not really?
He doesn't have
No.
that. Last year was different. He was enjoying it last year. I felt like, even amidst all this stuff, I felt like he knew he was coming back. And this year, I think not winning in the way they've not won, I think that takes a lot of enjoyment out of it too.
Just feels like there's a lot of tension.
Yeah.
I don't know. When you listen to the radio, it just feels like there's a lot of tension. And I wish he would just say, I'm done. This is going to be my last year so that we can celebrate Martin.
Celebrate him.
I want to be able to, I want the fans and the sport to be able to celebrate what Martin Truex has done in this sport. And I just feel like, the situation is not positive right now for that type of scenario. And I just don't want him to walk away and say, I'm done at the end of the year, like Carl Edwards did, and not be able to celebrate his greatness of and his achievements in the sport. He's a champion. He's a winner. He's done everything that he needs to do in the sport. And I don't think anybody will be, sad or happy. I mean, it's Martin's decision, but I just hate the fact that he might just walk away and be done. And I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll have to continue following that story and Martin Truex Jr.'s future in terms of his Cup Series racing. So he has had some frustrations. So too has Kyle Busch.
Oh man,
My guy.
yeah.
They are continuing. He looked like he was poised to have a top 5 finish out in Sonoma until the end with Ross Chastain. These two coming together. What did you make of this incident?
Now I'm to the point where I actually feel sorry. I'm starting to feel sorry for Kyle Busch because of everything that is happening. So he wrecked last week with Kyle Larson at St. Louis. Went to Indy for the tire test, crashed. Heard some rumblings that he crashed his rental car. And, I think we got there. He ran off the track in practice. Then he ran off the track at the beginning of the race. And then gathers it all up. It's like, oh, driving along. I'm going to have a good day. Finally going to get over this mess. Wham!
The one.
Ross Chastain wipes him out. Overshoots turn 4, wipes him out, and spins him out. He still finished the race, but he was in contention to have another top 5 and kind of stop the bleeding. But man, that wound's still open.
I spoke with Ross Chastain after the race, obviously for SiriusXM, and he said, I don't want people saying I'm the only one that's being aggressive. He said, everyone was being aggressive out here today. It was wild. Do you agree with that or not? Agree with the move?
He's right that everyone is being aggressive. They've all been aggressive all year. But the thing is like my man got wiped out going over the rumble strip. Like we were well off kind of the track here. Like obviously he overshot the corner. It was obvious.
Yeah, it started at the beginning of turn 4.
It started way back here. And I don't know. I feel bad for KB.
Yeah.
I feel like they in that whole group, right? I mean, they just it hasn't clicked. And then when it does click, it still doesn't click. And that's a really hard place to get out of, especially even mentally, right? Just getting kicked in the shorts week after week, whether it's one thing or another.
Yeah.
And he's still Kyle Busch. Like he can still win races. He's still going to win races. Just right now, this season is just not bad.
And that's a streak that's on the line. He's won a race 19 seasons in a row. So, he thinks about stuff like that because he's a winner. He wants to win. He's so competitive that we see all these mistakes and spin outs and different things happen because he's pushing extra hard. He is getting everything that he can out of that car. And it's in practice, it's in qualifying, it's racing, and that's just how he's built. And it's caught up with him a little bit because of the fact that he's had so many problems. But this one was not of his making. No, this was not of his making.
Hey, race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox News, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.